meek and quiet.
Oh my God, it was
We
so funny.
changed them.
Yeah, we did.
You were poison.
Yeah, we did. Now
And
forget about
Nydia,
it. He's
Nydia,
Nydia. He was the
oh
ace.
my God, love
Listen, they
her.
all became A-list stars.
In our own stories, maybe not on
Yeah.
TV, but in our own stories.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
We're already exchanging stories, so I had to press live. I had to go. I didn't want to
Oh,
miss
I
out
thought we
on
were
anything.
live already. I'm sorry.
No,
No, that's
that's all
okay.
right. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm never for a loss for words, so don't worry about this. This is about 5 hours.
That's a good way to be, especially on this show. Welcome everybody. This is Table Talk number 69. And I am Mo Lightning. Lindsay to my left, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent.
69,
Devon, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, one day at a time. That's all I can do.
That's all you can do.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
That's all you're given.
Yep.
Can't
And just
promise
meanwhile,
anything.
I had to show my good friend, our special guest, our picture from years ago when we were rock
Nice.
stars.
Oh my God. I remember that night, actually.
So do I.
Needless to
Vividly.
say, kind of remember it.
You really remember?
Oh, listen, we didn't do anything that really blocked our memory, but oh my God, some of the things we did, I wish we would have blocked our memory.
Yeah.
some of the people we hung out with, good God.
Only me and Nydia were really allowed to be the only girls that hang out, though.
Yeah,
The other
really,
girls
pretty
really
much.
weren't allowed.
And pretty much had respect, you know. That was the one thing I loved about, the generation back then, especially with girls like you guys that would basically go hardcore in the ring, but yet was still respected outside the ring. I loved it, and you guys did that, and that was a credit to what you guys and how you ladies, I should say, handled yourselves in public, in and out of the ring. I mean, again, people don't get it. It's so important how you handle yourself outside the ring as well. It's one thing to be in the public eye and do what you do, but it's another thing to be outside the ring, be your normal self. And then how's your character? Are you still going to be an idiot? Are you still going to go out there and act a fool or what? What you going to do? And the majority of the people, I should say, that we hung out with actually kept their head on their shoulders.
Yeah, we did, but we always kept to that. There's a set of rules we follow,
Yes.
and it is what it is. I think it's maybe a lost art. Not that I know about it, because I've been out of wrestling now for so many years. Kind of divorced it, but I'm proud of it.
I'm jealous of you
Why?
because you got out and I'm still in it. I'm trying to get out, but they keep bringing me back in. And mostly it's my
50
kids.
years old. I'm 50.
Well, I'm not that far from you. I'm 48. So
yeah, but no one wants to see a 50-year-old lady.
No one wants to see a 48-year-old man in the ring either. Shit. I mean, even though it happens, but still.
Yeah.
But,
I love it. I'll tell you, Ivory was the one that gave me the best advice ever. And what she said to me was, the only way to get out of the business is to divorce the business.
Mm-hmm.
And
leave it completely.
I really didn't understand it, but I got it because I kind of always had one foot in, one foot out in the beginning, and I just did it. I just divorced the business, started over, just realized you can't do two things great. I'm an overachiever, and I just decided to become a nurse, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm truly, genuinely happy.
Mm-hmm.
I would give up. If I could do my life over again, I would give up everything. No offense, Devon, even though I love you.
No.
But I would give up everything to just be a nurse.
That's amazing.
And believe me, I understand that because, although we had a lot of good times, we had some trying times as well. And some of those trying times we would like to forget about. And some of those trying times hurt just as much as the good times we had. So believe me, I understand it. And you were there with me when I went through my trying time in ECW.
Yeah, we all went through those.
With a certain relationship that I had, and oh, good God.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute, Devon, you did what? With who and how?
Yeah.
You told your wife at the time? What?
We told you, don't do it.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't it. But
oh God, I was young, dumb, and stupid.
but look where you are now. You got two beautiful little girls. You got a hot wife.
Thank you.
My
Thank
God.
you. Listen, I figured at 48 I'd get it right one day. I just didn't
Where
know
did
how I
you
would
find
get it right.
her?
She found me actually. We were at a restaurant and she came in and said, "Hey," I was like, "Yeah, what's up?"
I've heard that.
I was in that Dudley boy mode. You know how me and Bubba used to be. Somebody come up, "Hey, how you doing?" "Yeah, what's up?" So anyway, Bub. So this is what happened, and it was one of those things where she was like, "Oh no, you didn't." I said hello, and when she said that, I went, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Hughes. How you doing?"
She's right there, right there.
Yep. She made sure she wasn't shy or scared or anything about it.
She knew what she wanted.
Yeah, she did.
But now you got these two beautiful little babies. Oh my God, I can't.
Thank you, which I'm very nervous about because it was easy with boys, you know. Sit down, don't do that, stop it. Now with the girls, don't do that. The tears start going. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Give you a prime example. We have the pre-show every Wednesday around 1. Sometimes 1:32, and I'm thinking I'm in my room by myself so we can go over what we're going to talk about on the show. And who coming in? The 2-year-old. "Hi, daddy, hi." And I'm just, usually I just want to go out. I'm on the thing. And no, it don't work. So you might see her come up here.
And then she's a star of the show. She has all the ideas for the show. We need her more often.
Kind of like avoided. I'm sorry, we're ignoring you guys. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm actually enjoying just listening to this conversation.
We're used to it. He likes to talk.
Yeah, I'm the quiet one. It's fine.
Yeah, have many years together, right?
Couple of decades. When did you come to ECW?
2009.
ECW?
ECW.
No, I met you in ECW.
Right. So.
That had.
Are you thinking 99?
No. Okay.
99.
When was the first November to remember? When did Tammy come in?
99.
That's when I came in.
98. No. Before that. It was before that because she was on. Wasn't she on Barely Legal, the first pay-per-view?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Did I just say 2000? I'm getting old.
Yeah.
That all runs together.
98, 99. I'm thinking of it 9. I'm like, 98, 99. Yeah.
Okay.
I was way gone in 2009.
Yeah, so was I. I was in TNA at that time.
Yeah, 99 or 98.
Now, who brought you to ECW?
Originally, was I came by with Pitbull Anthony.
Anthony, okay.
And then I did a Jersey All Pro show with him and Gary. And from what I learned later on is that Paul saw me at that Jersey show, that Jersey All Pro show. And then Marlena was supposed to go to ECW against Tammy off her WWE days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Vince picked her back up.
Oh, okay.
You guys needed someone really quick. So Bubba calls my house at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Hey, yo, what are you doing?
It was like a Saturday was the show or Friday, whatever day it was like the morning of. And actually it was the morning of, and he says, "Hi, I'm Bubba. Do you know who I am?" I was like, "Yeah."
That's so fun. "Hi, do you know who I am?"
"Hi, you know who I am?" "Hi, I'm Bubba. Do you know who I am?"
I was like, "What's up?"
I'm not calling myself.
And he says, "We have an opportunity. Do you want to work tonight at the arena?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. We're not gonna say no. You've been working all our lives for that, right?"
Right.
And I said, "Okay, well, when is it?" He goes, 3:30. Be at the arena. It was like meanwhile, it was like 10:30 in the morning, right? I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
And you know what's crazy about this is that back then, when you were told, especially when you wanted to work for a company, and it was like she said, 10:30 in the morning, and they told you to be there at 3:30, you're like, inside, you're like, oh, damn, no. I got all this stuff I got to do. But out loud, you're saying, don't worry about it. I'll make sure that I'm there at 3:30. Do you have any plans? Well, I got this, but don't worry. I got it covered. I'll have somebody take care of it. And that's just the way it is sometimes. It just, it's like that. And we lost her.
Hi, are you there?
Yep, we're here. We hear you,
Oh,
but we
I
can't
missed
see you.
Yeah. Oh, now you don't see me. Oh, God.
There you go.
Technology.
Horrible at this.
Man.
There you
Your
go.
life, don't ask me to get on a computer for you. I didn't have GPS back in the days. We didn't have anything to help us get to the building. You got a package that told you the name of the building, the time. You better be there. Period.
That was it.
Don't ask for directions because they will give you the wrong ones on purpose for asking.
No.
You better have your paper map and get there. And I don't want to hear that you're joining with anyone else. Get there.
And the great thing about it was you had to go to a gas station if you didn't have one and pick up one of the big maps. And you had to read it. And I never, in high school and junior high and even elementary, it's the biggest lie in the world when you get to the wrestling business. Well, don't you know how to read a map? Yeah, of course I do. Bull. Because they don't teach you how to read maps in school. And if they tell you they do, they're lying. They don't teach that. I had to learn one-on-one real quick in ECW when I was riding by myself in the middle of Pennsylvania. Now, of course, we know Pennsylvania is a huge state. So now we got to go from one side of Pennsylvania to the other. And I'm not used to driving by myself or doing things by myself like this. So I was told, Devon, here's the address. Here's the place. Now, remind you, we didn't have this back then. Not everybody had it. So you couldn't type in the GPS. So I was like, well, what do? You got to go buy a map. You have a map. Of course I do. Oh, my God. No, I don't have a map.
Sure I do.
And I had to go, where do I find a map? They go to a gas station or go to Books A Million or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. So I go there to get the map. And as I'm reading, I go, oh, my God, I don't know what the hell I'm reading. Where's these lines? Where's that line go? What is that? And you got to figure it out real quick. I mean, you're teaching yourself right there on the spot how to read a map. And there are people today that cannot read maps. And I remember you were laughed at and like frowned upon if you didn't. And me being what I went through when I first broke into business about reading a map, I feel for those that don't know how to read a map. I'm like, come here, let Dad help you. I got you.
No, don't help them.
Let them figure it out like we had to.
Yeah, but now forget about it. Now you got this. And it's all good from there. I mean, from here, you got everything in the world with this one little phone.
It was crazy.
And it went from the big maps they used to buy at the gas station to
then MapQuest. You had the little
Quest.
Compact one.
Yep.
I remember MapQuest.
I feel like, Devon, you're the type that still prints out directions from MapQuest.
MapQuest.
I bet you do.
When Bubba and I first came back, let me see, was it TNA? It might have been TNA, or it was when we came back to WWE. I think we did it like once or twice where we had MapQuest, and I'm looking at this going, there's got to be an easier way. This is bull.
Like at the stoplight, like, oh wait, which page am I on?
Yeah, I'd rather go back to the big map. I'd rather go back to the big map in order to type up and put in the computer where I got to go, because half of the roads on some of these MapQuests are not there. Yeah. Because they redid everything, or they added another road. So they want you to go from one road to the other, to this one, to that one, but they don't figure in the new roads that are put in. So now you're screwed. This is all the crap that we had to go through back then.
It's tough.
Poor baby. You had to deal with the GPS.
Yep.
I feel for you.
That's right.
We were lucky. Sometimes we even got the address. We got the name of the building. You got a plane in, a plane out. See it. No car reservations, no hotel reservations, woman on your own.
And
you drove through the night.
And people like us and our generation that had to learn the way we learned, that's why we have no sympathy for the younger generation. Because we were put in a predicament where, okay, we want to use you, but if you don't learn how to get to a building and do all of that, then you're screwed, you're fired. That was the way it was. Nowadays, they have breakdowns. They send them to counseling. They bring them back. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Breakdown.
You have no idea, Dawn.
Breakdown.
It's a good thing that you've left the business and done what you've done. If you would see half the stuff that I see now, see, people like you, it's almost like taking Moses from the Bible and putting him into freaking today's world. And if he walked around here, remember, he only had a staff and walked millions of miles. Can you imagine if you put Moses in a car?
And you know how old school I am. I'm like one of the old school girls. Like I'm
telling you, your head would spin if you knew half the crap.
You used to spin back then.
It'd be worse now. I'm telling you, it'd be worse. A lot of these kids, and I'm not going to say it's every one of them, but there's a good, if you're going to percentage wise, I would say a good 70 to 75% of them have no idea would have no idea, I should say, how to survive
how to get
in
their
the
ass
business yesterday.
in the ring because you didn't get to the building on time. Or you left early before the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. It could be a plethora of reasons why.
We lost your audio there.
Phone keeps ringing. It sucks.
Oh, no.
There you go. Hey, I got a story. I don't know if you remember. My son, Matthew, who's now 19.
Those little boys are so cute.
Thank you. He's 19 now. And I don't know if you remember, he was getting christening. And I was like, it was me, you, Randy Orton, Batista. We all rode together. And I was kind of like the babysitter of everybody. And I remember calling each and every one of you. I said, listen, I'm not going to be on the road. I got a christening. My son's getting dedicated. You guys got to behave yourself. And I called Randy specifically. And me and Randy
I could tell you some Randy stories.
Oh, yeah. Me and Randy was just talking about this. And he said to me, Devon, I'm so sorry. He goes, I'm not that person anymore. I said, I know you're not. I said, trust me. But I said to him, I said, Randy, I'm asking you to please control your emotions. Just please behave yourself while I'm gone. I was like, nothing bad should happen. If anything happens or you feel an inkling of something happening, please call me so I can calm it down. So we get to the day, right? The day of the christening. I'm gone. I'm with the family in New York. I forget where they are. I get a phone call from Dawn Marie. Devon, it's Dawn Marie. You got to call me back, please. It's urgent. It's urgent. Click. And I listened to voice message. I'm like, oh God. I go, what the hell happened? I'm not going 24 hours. What happened? I go, Dawn Marie. I go, please let this. I said, this better be good. Devon, you got to talk to Randy. You got to talk to Batista. I said, for what? Well, Randy pissed Batista off and did something stupid in the ring, and Batista clotheslined the shit out of Randy. I went, what? I was like, is he okay? We don't know. The doctors are looking at him and everything. So apparently they're in the ring, and Randy's fucking with Dave, like doing the Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, slapping him in the back of the head. And I think Dave told him to stop, and he wouldn't stop, and he's got him in an arm bar. So Dave went, okay, not a problem. He whipped him off and clotheslined the shit out of Randy. And Randy wasn't moving. He was out of it.
I remember.
You remember that? So then I go, Dawn said, where's Batista? She said, he's inside the gas station. We had to stop. I said, okay. I said, I'll call you right back. I get on the phone. I go, Dave. He goes, hey, Rev. I go, don't hey, Rev me. I go, what happened? He goes, what do you mean, Rev? I said, what happened in the ring with Randy? He said, well, Randy pissed me off. He was smacking me in the back of the head. I said, I asked you guys to not do anything while I'm off the road. I said, I'm asking you, please. I said, you got poor Dawn Marie crying because she's scared because she thought Randy was dead. Well, Rev, You don't understand. He hit me, Rev. He kept slapping me in the back of the head. I said, Dave, you know how Randy is. Please stop. I was like, please stop. He's like, okay, Rev, I'll stop.
Oh, Jesus.
Children.
The phone keeps ringing.
You are so
all right,
popular.
Yeah. So I was just like, he's like, all right. I was like, do me a favor. He's like, yeah, Rev. I said, can you please go to Randy and apologize until I get back? And I'll talk to Randy to tell him to stop smacking you in the back of the head.
I can't hear you.
Oh, no. It's a good story.
Can you hear me now?
It's a good one. How about now?
I'm so old.
That's
These
okay.
boobs still look good.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh,
yeah, they really do.
Lindsay's eyes opened up.
I'm such a
See,
you look great.
You didn't see
I mean,
Lindsay.
It's not working.
It's okay. You didn't see Lindsay. You panned down to your boobs, and Lindsay went, "Oh, yeah."
Well, she said they look good, so I had to look, and they do.
What am I doing wrong?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna talk her through reconnecting here.
It sounds like she's just getting a lot of people trying to contact her. She's really cool and famous.
Oh, that story was so funny with David Batista. I was
that's so funny.
You guys can't just wait until I come back off the road.
No, of course not.
And I was like, oh, God. But needless to say, those two have been good friends ever since. And, it was a whatever. I think it was the first time those two was ever in a ring together. Okay. And Randy was kind of testing out Batista. It was funny as
what
hell.
He's made of.
Oh, God. When Dawn Marie called me crying, she was like, oh, my God, I think Dave killed Randy. I said, what the hell you mean he killed Randy? He's like, yeah, Mandy was messing with him in the ring, and Dave got mad and just clotheslined the shit out of him. That was so funny.
I'm back.
Hi. Welcome back. Woo.
Hey.
No,
I was like, at least my boobs still look good. It's the only thing that's held up.
Listen,
they
you
look
gotta
great.
stop doing that. You're giving Lindsay,
Lindsay
cardiac
for
arrest.
old time's sake.
Oh, there you go. Is that a story you'd like to share?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I love Dawn Marie since day one. Please. That's why I talk her into going in the car with us. I said, listen, Dawn, why don't you travel with us? Don't worry about it. We'll take you and get you back and forth to the shows. Meanwhile, Dawn Marie's like, really? I was like, yeah.
Oh, of course you were. That does not surprise me.
I covered for them all the time, and then I would make all the women and stuff feel not like I would be like it made them feel safer because there was another girl there.
Gotcha. See, you're like the wing woman. You're like, it's fine. I'm here. I'm okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're harmless.
So Randy's story. I gotta tell you a quick Randy story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since we're talking about Randy, so. Back then, Randy was broke like the rest of us. We just started out and he didn't have a car or whatever. And he was traveling with me sometimes, but like, I guess you and Batista weren't on the road.
Yeah.
And I let him drive with me. And I drove, I drive like a freaking maniac. I'm a New Yorker, right? One time, he's like, I'm never getting in a car with you again. He wouldn't get back in the car with me, but I almost got into a lot of trouble because Randy didn't have a room or something. And, he's probably lying, just trying to get in my room. Who knows? So I felt bad for him, because like he was broke. Not that he's broke now. He made up for it. So I was like, Randy, okay, fine. You could sleep on the chair in my room. And I was like, if you come anywhere near my bed, I swear to God, I'm going to kill you. Right, so I let him do it like a couple different nights. I let him like sleep on the chair. I don't even know if he remembers this. And someone saw him coming out of my room. And back then,
that was a no-no.
No,
it can be as innocent as innocent can be.
Boys.
Yeah, and it can be as innocent as it can be, but. Mm-mm.
And it was totally innocent.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, Randy, you gonna touch me? I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. And yeah, I remember Bob Holly and everyone, they were getting on me. They were like, yeah, we know. And I could have gotten fired for that. And not like now. Like now they do stories about it. It's such a kick in the ass, right?
It'd be like a reality star.
Kick in the ass. Like everyone getting pregnant now when they like glorify it. Meanwhile, I was for being pregnant.
And that's the thing. And you bring up a good point. Back then, a woman getting pregnant, especially when she's on the road and getting a push, is an absolute no-no back then. Now,
I got fired.
Women getting pregnant. Well, you can't do that now. Back then, you were probably allowed to do that.
You're welcome, ladies. You're welcome. Not a single one will even know that happened to me and that I fought it tooth and nail. I can't see you. I can't use a computer, but so yeah. Oh, trust me. There was a lot of stuff that was taken care of. That it never happened again.
Sorry, you had to go through that, but thank you for the future generation.
Right. At that time, I was the first woman to ever get pregnant while on the road. And I was the longest running woman at that time on the roster.
Wow.
And
They
didn't have
words for
anything
that.
for me. Wait. Creative doesn't have anything for you. I'm a slut and I'm pregnant. For real. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
There's
By
so
the
many
way,
things you can do with that.
by the way, I meant to tell you, I apologize to you, Dawn Marie. I apologize to you humbly, and I want you to understand it wasn't my fault. Okay, when me and Bubba came back to the ECW arena at the Elks Lodge, and I think it was Pat Kennedy, Lance Storm, and somebody else I can't remember. You guys were double teaming Dreamer. Here we come running out. It was a big surprise. We come running out. The place goes crazy. And I remember Bubba picking you up and slamming you. And then he tells me to go up to the top. I go up to the top, and Bubba takes your legs and spreads them. And and of course, I'm up there, and I come diving into your crotch area. And I remember getting stuck a little bit. And when I say stuck, it was because I didn't want to get up. And Bubba goes, "Get up."
We had so much fun.
We did.
The worst ever was Bubba, because you know the story. A lot of people don't realize this, that when I first started, I was sent up to ECW school, hardcore, and I would drive up there, twice a week?
Yep.
Right? And I would learn. And of course, Bubba and Taz and Big Dick Dudley had to break me in the hard way, right? So Bubba had Big Dick teaching me how to take suplexes, one after another. And Taz would do the clotheslines. And Bubba would be like, "Are you done?" I'm like, no, I'm not. What else do you want me to do? And I would never sell anything, so nice. Right? Never.
Well, see, that's the thing. Back then, in the wrestling business, if somebody felt that you didn't belong, they would try to hurt you deliberately in practice. And that was the thing, like, well, if we hurt them, they won't come back. And that was a running thing back then. Nowadays, you do that, you get sued, you get fired, you get everything.
That's my neck.
See, this generation has no idea what we had to go through back then. And we appreciated everything that the Hogan and Andre era did for us, and the San Martino and Backlund era, and even going back even further. We respected the business. And I've said this numerous times on shows. This new generation, a lot of them, not all of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but a large majority of them don't respect those that have come before them. That's just a fact. I firmly believe that, wholeheartedly.
Gotcha.
So, So, Dawn, when did you get out of the business? When did you officially say, "I'm done"? Can she hear me?
She's popular. She's got another fan trying to reach out to her. It's okay. It's okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I swear to God, no one ever calls me, and now everyone of mother is calling me right now.
That's how it always happens.
Can you hear me talk?
Yes, we can hear you.
No?
Yep. Now, Dawn,
can she hear us?
It really stinks.
I don't know if she can hear us.
When did you officially leave the wrestling business?
Shows that I'm talking and my mic is on. I can't.
I think it's so frustrating.
Gods. They tell my stories because I have a lot of good ones.
Maybe she can
get her
on.
Reconnect again.
That's so funny.
Charm.
I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah.
The chances that everybody tries to reach her, reach out to her.
It never fails. It never fails. That's life right there.
That is technology at its finest.
Yep, and I know a lot about the technology.
You do know so much about technology. You are so savvy.
Obviously, you are the tech leader.
Yes.
In the podcast.
Not only is he the host, he is the tech leader.
I suck.
I am.
You don't suck. No.
I'll tell you. You know what I think it is, Yvonne? I think it's divine intervention for some others, because I have a lot of stories that people don't want out there. God forbid my book ever comes out. It's gonna be bad. But I wouldn't tell the story. The thing is, I would never tell my stories because that's not how I was raised in business.
Right.
Well, if I ever tell my stories, I'm going to be far away from the business.
Well, I've been away now for what, 15 years?
And what made
Like
you hang it up?
altogether.
Well, two questions. What made you hang it up, and when did you hang it up?
I hung it up when the whole controversy, I finally said, I've had enough of you people. When that whole controversy happened with the Wrestlers Rescue. And,
Okay.
and it was all lies. I put out so much proof that every single thing was a lie. Everything. I had all this proof. No one wanted to hear it. No one wanted to hear it. All they wanted to hear was bad stuff, and people believed it. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to get hurt. I don't have to be hurt by this business anymore. Why am I here? Like, I was like, I can't do it anymore. And that was it. I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm washing my hands. Because it was just consuming. I was just so hurt that people, or should I say the fans, actually believed it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not putting myself there anymore. I'm done.
Well, the one thing I will say is that, and I hate to say this, but when there's anything that is put out there, even when it's lies, but it's negative against a person, the fans automatically gravitate to it because it's like reading the Inquirer.
Mm-hmm.
You know the stuff is fake, but yet you read it and you believe it because somewhere in that idiotic mind of yours, you want to believe that somebody's falling on hard times or something's bad happened, as opposed to calling these people out and telling them, shut up.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, like, look at JR, right? If I did anyone dirty, do you really think JR would still be my friend if I did Steve wrong? No,
that's true. Yeah,
absolutely not. Okay, and I spent more money on that foundation than I've ever made in that foundation for people. And not only that, my whole purpose of creating that organization was because after I was fired and I had my lawsuits with Vince, I just wanted to make lemonade from lemons, right? So it was my way of trying to change a business in a positive way. Isn't that what we were always taught in the business?
Mm-hmm.
You want to retire knowing you change a business in a positive way. Well, my career was cut short, so I wasn't able to really do it too much in the ring. So that was my way of staying true to my promise to like Snuka and everyone that ever passed down this business to me and took the time to teach me. And then like when it was just dirtied up so bad, I was like, I'm out. Like this business has hurt me for the last time and I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to. And that's when I just divorced it and said, and I couldn't even find a job for a while after that because it was all over the internet. I was waitressing, making $45 a day because I couldn't even get a job. Because when they would like Google you, which is what people do now, they had me as this horrible, ugly human being, which anyone that knows me for 10 seconds knows. Like I'm not trying to say wonderful things, but it's true. Like I have the purest heart. I always protected people. I always help people. Other than Franny, but everyone else, and Franny deserved it. So at first I was nice to her, but then, a douchebag's a douchebag. So anyway.
That's a true statement.
No, I think you two don't speak to each other anymore.
What do you do with a douchebag? You use it and you throw it out, right? So that's it. But other than her, there's no one. Like, I would never hurt anybody in the whole world. Like, I'm a nurse now, and that's what part of the reason why I love it so much is because in wrestling, everything is calculated. Every single move, every single thought, word, everything has to be thought over 10,000 times. Where's it going to bring me? Am I going to get heat? Am I going to do this? Is it going to elevate me? Is it going to make me be stuck out of the ring, punished for a while? And like with nursing, it's like I do things because it's just truly, genuinely what I want to do, and it makes me feel good. And there's no thinking of what am I going to get out of it.
Right.
And that's very freeing, and it's very rewarding. And and that's why I just love it so much.
That's good.
Awesome.
And,
That's awesome.
whatever.
What kind of
the other thing is, think about it. I was a stripper before I became a wrestler, right? Before I got into ECW, which back then was big taboo because remember, what's her name again? A little blonde chick that got fired for doing porn? Chastity, right? Remember that back then? Like you weren't allowed to be a stripper back then. It was very different back then.
Yeah, I remember Chastity.
I was a stripper.
I can tell by Devon's smile. We remembered.
Yeah, I remember Chastity.
Devon.
Like,
sorry.
So, and I was a stripper. I was homeless at 17. A lot of people don't know my story, but I was homeless at 17. I lived in my car. I was self-made. I put myself through school. I became a stripper at 18. I put myself through NYU, business school. And, I started late in this business. I was in my 30s when I started. And
were you really?
Realize that I was always 10 to 15 years older. Yeah.
Wow.
I did not know
that. I was born 1970. Yeah. In 2098 and 1998, I was 29 years old when I started with ECW.
That's awesome. Wow.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you were a lot
I was
younger.
always 10, 15 years older than the other girls.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the questions I think I want to ask is Tori Wilson and her father who passed. You did a storyline with him and with both of them, actually, where you were marrying her dad. Who came up with you to do that idea, and how did you feel about that angle?
I believe Paul came up with it. But you know what? I don't have an opinion of it because I wasn't raised in a business that way. Like, my job was to show up, do my job to the best of my ability, and that's it. As long as it wasn't, like, I had one rule.
Maybe third time's not the charm, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I shall take a sip of my beverage.
It's probably another person calling her right now.
Yeah.
So I think she was about to say,
Dawn is very popular.
I do like that comment that was made earlier that people are calling her to stop her from telling the stories.
I mean, she was about to tell a story.
Yeah.
There you go.
She's about to tell it all. Yeah, that was one of the things I loved about our generation is that, when you didn't work for a company that you were scared of losing your job, you just come out and say whatever you felt like saying, no reservations and everything. You just tell your business. You just say it all.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. And, you don't have that anymore. Even when they were in the company, some of them would still say things that even if it pissed the other people off or if it pissed the office off, they didn't care. Nowadays,
it's like, I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I've enjoyed my time.
Knowing you pissed off.
You guys are great.
What you want to say.
I have grown apart. Yeah.
Yep.
You've grown apart, but I'll always have high regard. And now, and deep down, you're like, you messed up my life. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
One day they'll come on Table Talk, though, and let it all out.
You think?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Oh, this is a good question here. Good follow-up. How's OnlyFans, Devon?
Yeah, I logged on and there wasn't anything there.
Well,
it's crazy.
I'm not doing it right now per se.
Maybe not this exact moment. No.
No, I'm showing nipples later on.
Oh.
No. What? I want to
refund. What a great time to come back.
Refund.
The fans just wrote in and asked me how's the OnlyFans, and because I had just found out last week about OnlyFans.
I'm asking for a refund because I don't like the content I signed up for.
OnlyFans is when people pay for you to go on and either show boobs or feet or all that. And I never heard about this before. And last week they kind of informed me about it. So I was like, damn, I got to get on this.
You got to show your nipples?
I show my nipples. So one of the fans just asked me, how's it going with the OnlyFans? And I said, well, I haven't done anything yet, but I'm about to show my nipples later on tonight. So tune in.
I'm going to log in.
There you go. See?
Listen, I've got countless of matches where I wrestled with no shirt on. My nipples were showing. So,
so let me finish that story. Like with Tori, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was brought into the business. You don't have an opinion on what you're asked to do. You just do it to the best of your ability, and that's what you're paid for. You're paid to do what you're told, right? As long as you're not hurting someone physically. And I always had one rule with the writers. As long as it's not a cheap pop and it means something and it's going somewhere, write whatever you want.
Sure.
That's it. I don't care what it is. I'm giving you carte blanche, but it better go somewhere. And as long as that's the case, my job is to do what you tell me to do.
Right.
You know, not have an opinion of it.
Who did you have the most fun working with inside the ring?
Lance
Who did you
Storm.
find the right chemistry with?
Lance Storm.
What about female wise in terms of wrestling? Was there anybody that you could honestly say that you had good chemistry with, that you always had good matches, even on your off nights?
Well, I only did matches with Tori.
Okay. Wait, I remember some of those matches.
Gee.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
He remembers.
I mean, they never really had us work anyone else. If we did, it was just, a quick something.
Well, hold on, because if I'm not mistaken, you teamed up with Bubba and I against Jackie Gator and her husband, Charlie Haas, and it might have been Shelton. No, it was Kurt Angle, and we kind of did a three-way, not a three-way dance, but it was like 3-on-3. With, of course, we couldn't touch the women back then, but the women could touch us, and I was just like, well, that's no fair.
No, that's right.
I was like, how can they beat our ass, but we can't go back and put them through a table? That ain't right.
That's right. Wait, what? Am I talking out loud? Sorry.
Shut up, Lindsay.
Keep drinking.
Well, Dawn, are you on any social media whatsoever? I know you're out of the business, but other than your personal Facebook, are you on any other social media?
Once in a while, I'll chime into my Twitter. Not very often, but usually it's just my own personal, which is, like I said, I really divorced it. I mean, I miss my friends, a certain few,
sure, yeah,
a few, but I don't know. I was talking to a few people. I know this AEW has a lot of old school people. I think I was talking to JR, maybe stopping by just to visit and say hi, because there's so many. I just want to say hi because it's been so many years. I mean, Rikishi, he calls me when he's in Jersey. He sees the kids. My kids call him Uncle Kiki. They didn't even know who he was until he got older. And then until they got older, they didn't even know what I did because I kept it a secret. There's no wrestling in my house at all. Like, we don't even watch it. Nothing. Like, divorced.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I should have did when I tried to leave the business. Stop watching it. Don't do autograph signings. None of that. Just walk away. And if you do that, remember, out of sight, out of mind, no one's going to call you to do autograph signings because...
Oh, they do.
They still
really
do.
No,
yeah.
Thank you. But I'll do one. I usually do one private signing a year just to, if anyone wants anything.
Right.
But other than that, I don't. And the only reason why I know about this AEW is because my fiance, he told me about it. And I was like, oh, he said, you may like it because it's the old guys. So I watched one, but honestly, I don't watch it anymore. I just don't go there. Where I see, Big Show went there because I see Kip's wife posted it, right? So I see it. And only little things like that is how I know. And I would love to go see everybody, just to say hello.
Right.
But then you know what's going to happen, right? The phone starts blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do an appearance? We hear you're back. Oh, you're looking for a job. Oh, you're like, no one wants this ass at 50 years old. Trust me. I turn my own lights off to see.
Stop it. You stop.
No, it's not that bad.
I'd pay a ticket.
And here we go. We got comments coming in. Why doesn't she age? So you don't give yourself enough credit here.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
really?
I agree with
Thank you. Oh, let me sit up for this one.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
See, that's what Lindsay does. You get the guys that just love Lindsay on the show.
And then all of a
put
sudden
her
I'm
over
like,
and then she'll just
beautiful.
start,
Yeah.
oh,
oh, hi guys.
You know.
You like me?
Hi.
You
Let me
know.
get a good angle. Wait, let me get a good angle. Oh,
There, see? Yeah.
Work
There
it.
you go.
Work it. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, girl.
So
There you go.
life is good, you know?
Good.
It's good.
Good.
My son
That.
is 15 now.
Oh, very
Amazing.
good.
15 years. My daughter is going to be 12.
Wow.
They keep
Look
me
at
busy.
that.
And my son's
I
type
bet,
1
yeah.
diabetic. I don't know if anybody knows
Oh,
about
man.
type 1 diabetes. It's juvenile's diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've learned so much. And I always say to my son, because I had just finished school when he was diagnosed. And I was like, Matthew, you made me a mom because he was my first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and now you made me a nurse for the first time because he was like my first patient.
There you go.
So it's hard, you know, it's a struggle. And
I'm sure, yeah.
but my kids are great. They're so healthy. Like, I mean, you know, besides that, he's healthy.
Right.
And he can live a long life with that. It's not something debilitating and it's under control. So
And he has the
Good.
best nurse / mom looking out
Yes,
for
he
him.
does.
So I feel like he's got a great chance at
Yes,
whatever
he
he wants to
does.
do.
he probably says different because I nag the shit out of him.
He'll eventually
Hey,
he'll figure it
We're
out.
parents. We're supposed to do
Yeah.
that. And if we
Yeah.
didn't do it, we're not real parents.
That's right.
I don't care what
If our
nobody
kids
says.
aren't annoyed at us,
Exactly.
we're not doing our job.
I annoy
Yep.
my kids every chance I get. Trust me. When
I look at my daughter and she rolls her eyes. I'm like, win.
Yeah.
I did it. I'm a
You're
good
doing
mom.
it right.
Yeah.
Did you see Jazzy's daughters in the ring?
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard.
Ooh,
Are they a chip off the old block?
come on. The two, those two parents?
Yeah.
Like, they were only training, I think, for like 2 months, and they were better than half the boys.
Well, listen, I've gone on the record and stated that I like watching the women wrestle, not because of TNA, but they're more exciting than the guys. And I don't mean that in a bad way to the men in the business. It's just that, especially with WWE, a lot of these women, I know you don't watch it, but a lot of these women really step it up and they really, really go out there. And it's really exciting. And, you know, I really enjoy watching the women more than I do the men sometimes. And again, it's not because it's TNA or like we used to do back in the Attitude Era when you had, you know, the matches that we had, but these women are really knocking the hell out of each other. They're going all
like
out.
I see little clips once in a while on my YouTube, like, you know, when it's passing through or whatever. And it doesn't seem like the girls are really being used the same way like they did with us. You know, I mean, they're all beautiful, don't get me wrong. But like we were TNA then wrestlers.
Right. Well, I think a lot of that has changed. You got to think of it, the Me Too movement, all the allegations that have surfaced over the few past month and even a year or two, where now women have been put in a light where you can't do that anymore. They're not pieces of meat. They are actually athletes that need to be recognized as being athletes and really bringing to the table. And I think the all women's pay-per-view that WWE did really set the precedent for that, bringing back some of the old school girls and having them showcase that they didn't need men to actually bring in a big number on the pay-per-view, and did it great. Not to mention the last two WrestleManias, you know, women basically main eventing WrestleMania. That was unheard of. The first time I ever heard of a woman main event anything was Monday Night Raw between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. And I mean, when I watched that match, they tore it up. They were fighting in the stance. It didn't look fake. It didn't look choreographed. I mean, they were really going at it, giving 110%. And I remember hugging both of them and telling them how proud I was of them. You know, I wish I had the match because it was so damn good. And to be the first women to close out Monday Night Raw, that's unheard of. And then when I got, you know, the SmackDown the next day and I heard the ratings for that match, the numbers were up high. And it was just really cool to see that and to realize how far the women have come since the days of that. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for them, you know, that they're getting that opportunity, but they're also not giving opportunities to like maybe the other side of it too. Like I would have had a career. I mean, I was not a technician, but I was a hand. And, you know, I was someone that helped make stars. I wasn't always the top star. So that's probably why I was around as long as I was. because I love doing that. I mean, it's great, but do you think that, I don't know, I'm not watching, maybe I'm wrong, but are they coming away from the other part of it too?
Now, when you say the other
Too
part, what do you
much?
mean?
Like, like what I did back in the day, being a valet or character or personality. Is it only the wrestling now, or
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
much
like
only.
coming away from that nuance of it, right?
Well, yeah, it's becoming more of the women. You have to really learn how to wrestle nowadays, as opposed to being a valet and you're going in there and you're training just as hard as the guys are now. That seems to be the norm. We don't have even male managers anymore. You have maybe one or two, but at one point you didn't have any anymore
Are they
managing.
characters though? Like we all played a part. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I was very fortunate. I was able to learn from a Stephanie McMahon of how to get cheered when you walk out out the curtain, and then be booed by the time you get to the ring.
Right.
I mean, are the girls able to do those things anymore? Are they portraying these type of characters, or are they all like these sexy, really athletic? Yeah, we have good and bad, but are they their own characters and personalities also?
I think they're both.
Okay, that's good then. That's
Yeah, I
good.
think they're both.
I would say the ones that main event the shows and the pay-per-views, they have found that way to escape just being an attractive wrestler, like a Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky. They've all overcome that and they've become their own stars.
Right.
Well, that's good. That's good, because I'd hate to see these really talented women just get that part of it to be lost too.
Yeah, no, they're
You know,
they're characters in themselves, and
that's good.
it's really good to see that shine. Again, it's a new
They can
era.
stand on their own.
They can definitely stand on their own. There's
You know
no
who they
question
are.
about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, the
I mean,
personality.
again, yesterday is gone, but I gotta say that the women that have come up in the business nowadays, in WWE, I'm not sure of outside of WWE because I hear stories and this and that, but I know the ones that are in the company because I still work for them, basically have really stepped it up and do respect yesterday. Stars. I know when a lot of them come in, from Trish to Lita to Molly, and they come in and do the pay per views, to Jackie. The respect in the locker room for those generation of women that help pave the way. The respect is like through the roof for those ladies. And
Really,
I
that's
and
good.
I and I hear about, oh my God, it would be great to wrestle Trish or Lita, or even Victoria. We had Victoria on the show, and Victoria put over huge, the women's locker room and how it is now, and how she's very proud that it's come to where it is right now.
Is she wrestling on the roster, or she
Well,
just
no,
came in
she
for?
came in to do a pay per view. I think it was. Am I mistaken? Am I right?
She did the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble,
Mhm.
because they have a separate. They have two now. They have the males Royal Rumble and they have the females Royal Rumble. So they asked Victoria to come back, and she was telling me how not only excited she was to be back to doing it because she hadn't done it in so long, but just to see the amount of respect that the women have now. It's unreal.
Well, it's very important. This business it was built on generations. I mean, we all know that. Well, we did. And
Hmm.
and if you were disrespectful to the business, you were disrespecting those who gave up their life beforehand for us to be there. And it would really be a shame to think that was lost,
Yeah.
because it really is what kept the business around for as many decades and whatever, for years and years and years and years, is that good old boys respect. You're given the business. You don't walk into the business. You don't get to pay your money and then learn a few moves and get in the ring. And that's, yeah, great. We can all learn how to do a move,
Hmm.
but it's the other stuff that makes you a star, separates you from the men from the boys, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing, that one regret I do have, because I was really taught by so many wonderful people, like your Sherry Martells, your Captain Lou's, Snookas. On the East Coast, I had so many mentors, and I learned how to be on the outside. Like I used to have this one little test I used to do when I used to do some of these little intensives, right? I would draw a circle in the middle of the ring. This is a great thing to do. draw a circle in the middle of the ring or a box, and say, okay, I want you to stand there for 60 seconds and show me who you are without opening your mouth. Now, if you could do that, you know who you are, and you could go out there and portray whatever you're trying to portray. Because if you don't know who you are, no one else is going to know who the hell you are.
Yep, that's true.
So it was like the greatest thing. And I learned that from your Captain Lou's and your Sherry's and those little nuances. And like, I just feel like the one thing I wish I was able to do before I left was to pass the torch. I feel like I never honored the business in the way I should have in passing that torch to the next person. Although they totally, they're far exceed any of my athletic ability in the ring. But I was given a lot in the business, and I was never able to pass off to someone else and put over someone else in a way where I can bow out gracefully and elevate the next person. And that is the one thing I'm really, really sad about. That if I could say I have one regret, that would be it. But it wasn't my choice. So,
well, I got to say this. I mean, the stories that you're telling here and the knowledge that you're giving on this show, basically, we have a lot of women that watch the show and basically, could understand what you're saying, especially, in terms of passing the torch. So giving that knowledge, you never know. You're touching someone right now. You may not have been able to do it back then, right before you left, but these are the opportunities when you do it now.
Sure.
This is
it.
I
mean, it is what it is, right? And I'm pretty open with whatever I've been given. And I think that's why I was around for so long, because I was able to, I didn't need to be the star. I liked making stars. That was where I got satisfaction and gratitude from. And, I guess that's why it bothers me so much. I was never able to do that last,
that last hurrah type of spiel.
Yeah, like that last, okay, I'm going to honor, because I can remember when Jimmy Snuka took me under his wing in the beginning, when I found me on the indies, I can remember sitting across from him in a diner and saying, Jimmy, why do you do all this for me? Like, what? You're not trying to sleep with me. You're not trying to, you don't flirt with me, but, you help me, you gave me contacts, and you watch and you teach me and you give me advice. And why do you do that? And he said, because if I don't teach someone else that I think has something, my business, it dies with me. And he said, so I'm passing it on to someone, I'm passing it on to you so that you can then, when it's your turn, pass it on. And then I live forever. What my work lives forever. And I promised him that day that I would do it. And I feel like I'm not keeping that promise, or I wasn't able to keep that promise. And it was something, and I've said that story a million times about, my conversation in this diner in New Jersey with Snook. And, I know he understands in heaven, but it's sad. You know what I mean? Because that's really what we were beat with, that mentality, Someone in the business one more day than you got up and you gave them your chair. It didn't matter if they were a bigger star or a lesser star. You got up.
Right.
And that's just what's here, and it doesn't change. Yeah. So that is my one regret, if I had one.
Well, again, I think you're doing a fabulous job. You look great.
Thanks.
And you are still shining from when I met you in 97 up until now. Not 2007 or 2009, but 97.
It's fine. Years are hard. Numbers.
Oh my kids tell me, Mom, you're going to be a vegetable. You're just going to be a vegetable. You're losing your mind. I'm so forgetful. I can't remember anything.
Well, Jesus, if they're saying you're going to be a vegetable, I can only imagine what they're saying about me.
We're all going to be vegetables. It's going to be great.
You're going to be a vegetable, Mom. I'm like, I know.
Devon will be the biggest vegetable, though.
And Mo's going to take care of us, because I feel like he's pretty smart. So
he is. He's a good one. You're the only one I would do this for. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. So when you said sweet. Yes, I would do it, I was happy. I was like, yes.
I would never tell
you don't normally do it. I know.
The only other person I did it for since I've been gone is Lance.
Lance Storm, yeah.
That's it.
Yep, and we just had him on the show about 3 weeks ago.
My
A
Lance.
pleasure to have on the show. It really was.
I love my Lance. He's always
Yep.
my Lance. I don't care what anyone says.
Fantastic.
That works.
Well, we're gonna have to let you go, but
Okay.
listen, congratulations on all your success outside of the business. And you know something, you're doing a great job in terms of, I'm sure, helping those patients and getting them back to the road of recovery. You're doing a fantastic job.
I do old people. They're not recovering.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Well, that's even cooler. Yeah, you're still giving.
You're gonna take
life.
care of Devon in a few years.
I'll wipe your ass, Devon.
Oh my gosh, the
No,
connection.
but, I love it because I try to bring them joy.
Sure.
Every day I do these little dances and my nonsense that I do all the time for entertainment. And I do it for them and we laugh. And I just, like, as a nurse, I feel like passing meds. Yeah, okay, I'm with old people. Like, I'm not curing them. I'm just treating symptoms. But every day I go in there to create a relationship with them.
Yep.
Like, that's my goal, so that on their worst day ever, they're going to look up and be like, she got me.
They're going to have a little bit of positivity. Sure.
But she got me. And that's my only goal every day.
Good.
That's amazing.
Well, on that, I'm definitely glad to hear. You keep up the great work. And when I get to Jersey, I'm definitely hitting you up. And we're definitely going to have lunch or dinner or what have you. And I would love to meet the family as well.
Oh, awesome. I'll see you soon.
You got it, Don. Take it easy.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
I didn't realize her appearances are so few and far between.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't hear about her anymore. Yeah, you really don't hear about her anymore in the wrestling business at all. I mean, at all. I mean, there are certain people that just vanish, that you don't even see them anymore. Perry Saturn is one of them from ECW.
I just spoke about Perry Saturn on my radio show yesterday.
Did you?
You're on the radio?
Yeah.
You have a radio show?
I am on the radio. And I was talking about weird celebrity encounters. And when I was first breaking into radio, I still needed a part-time job elsewhere to pay the bills, and I worked at Kmart. And Perry Saturn came in Cleveland, Ohio. He came in, fanny pack and all, needed to find a TV, and I got to be the guy to work with him, find that TV.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. See, it's amazing how it comes around full circle sometimes.
Real, yeah.
It really is. And
thank you, Sebastian. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you very much. Who was the young lady that said she loved me? She loved Devon.
Oh, it was a fake account.
That wasn't fake.
Yeah, no, I think he just popped that in there for you to feel good about yourself.
Listen, Linda, go back to drinking. See, there you go. Cream. I love it. I love you.
Yeah, Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's okay. She's just, needs her glasses. It's fine.
Boy, you just the glasses are turning people on nowadays. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I look good.
I know. Look at me. I'm the only one without glasses on.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
It does. Yeah. Well, you normally see through glasses. It's just normally tilted up with liquid inside.
Yeah.
My wine glasses, not
you know what? Mugs. You know what? Normally I don't drink from people's cups, but I tell you what, if we ever go hang out again somewhere after this pandemic is over, I definitely will grab your glass and drink it, because I can only imagine what I'm going to taste when I drink it.
My glass?
Yes, your glass.
It's going to taste like wine.
Exactly.
And lipstick.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean,
And tears. Be a little salty.
Tears.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
This is why.
Then just give me your bottle. Just give me the bottle.
It's empty. But sure, you can have it.
We are trying to work something out. So maybe this summer we actually will have a live, all of us in person episode.
Wish me luck.
We're not going to try. We're going to do it. We're not going to try. We're going to do it.
Just a matter of when. Just a matter of when it's going to happen. So that is coming up. I mean, you've gotten us some good guests lately, Devon. You got Rhonda on the show. You got Dawn Marie. Mm-hmm. How do you top it? How do you keep going, buddy?
Call those people that owe me favors. Hey, listen.
Remember in 1994
when you borrowed that $50? Well, don't worry about paying me back.
I gave you like $1. You can. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You still owe me the interest on it, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, I still need the $5 because
No, I didn't say $5.50.
I said $7. What?
Pay me by coming.
You got to pay me, but you can also do my show. So
yes.
A request for Maven on the show.
That's not hard to do. I can have that real soon.
We have put the invite out to get Al Snow back on. Maybe we can
Yes.
actually hear him this time. So
yeah, I know. He was so
we're
nice
working on
to
it.
look at, though.
We're working on it. But anything else before we wrap up this show here?
Well, no, I mean, I think everything else is good. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, actually, for you, this is your last table talk before you go back to work, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I got to work.
God, my vacation
Work for a
is so
living.
over from November up until now. You know,
I mean,
I'm
real.
I'm thinking about
just don't have another episode on us. No, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Oh, he's passing stones, everybody. He's passing
Oh,
stones.
no, man. It's fine. Once they're out, you'll feel fine. Just go back to work.
I gotta call the office and say, I'm sorry.
No.
I don't mean it. I
No.
can't go to the show. I'm going
Not how it
towards the
works.
light.
Everybody, he needs an exorcist.
Speaking of exorcists, we need to get that Linda Blair on the show.
I got to follow up. I didn't get a
know.
return call last time, so I got to do it again.
I got to get
We're
over my
working on
fear.
it.
I got to
Working on
get
it.
over my fear of this woman.
We'll make sure you do.
I'm going to try my best. So.
All right, good.
But as soon as we have somebody locked in for next week, we'll let you know. Episode 69. Well, it was a fun one, right? It was good. It felt
was.
good.
I mean, I felt
really
like
did.
it was really nice.
I bet you did.
Go 69.
69. It's the great.
It's a
it's
good
the
number.
greatest. Hey, listen, me and Lindsay had a talk, and this is. I
Okay, but thanks for joining us. See you
I
next